Have you ever had a routine in your life that just didn't serve you? Things when you get up in the morning and do, or you do during the day at lunchtime, or you do while you're walking home, like a path that you're, for instance, for me, there were places where I would drive when I was driving to work in LA traffic. And I would do the same thing every day and sit in the same traffic and listen to the same talk radio show and realize that it didn't serve me. All it did was made me angry when I got home. It made me angry about society. It made me angry about my job. It made me angry, and I would hear these folks that would pour into my mind or spew into my mind just a whole bunch of junk. And so as I started thinking about what could I do differently that would change this routine that would ultimately change my life. And today we are going to talk about the 7 habits to break that routine and actually win. So the 7 habits of breaking the routine, creating maybe a new one, and then actually being able to win in life the things that you in your head want to be able to do. So first, I want to say welcome, 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 welcome to another edition of Going to School with Dr. B. And today, we are going to talk about those 7 habits, the 7 habits that will break, like I said, break those routines. And hopefully these habits will help you to become the person, because this whole, that's not a podcast, this whole Going to School with Dr. B lessons that I'm teaching, the lessons that I'm going over are designed to help you become the person that you want to be so you can do the things you want to do. And so I'm not going to sit here and teach you how to do the thing, because there's so many other great people being able to do that. What I'm going to do is help you with the mindset that it takes, as if you were going to school and doing this. And so today we are going to go over 7 different habits. Now, one of the things I guess I should preface it by saying is all of these habits or all of these routines or all of these things that I'm asking you to do are not something that you can go do all 7 of them at once. I think we overwhelm ourselves and we try to do too much. And the reason that a lot of things haven't been working for you is because you haven't mastered one before you go to another. And so we're going to take these each week. Today I'm going to go over the all 7 of these. And then next week I'm going to break down I'm going to get you started on the first one. And then we're going to break that down, start building that habit. Then the next week after that, we're going to go to number 2. And we're going to just keep moving forward. So we have time. This is a patient journey. These are things that you should be doing. But I want you to have an insight into the things I'm going to ask you. So for those of you who are overachievers, for those of you who said, I got to get this done right now, hey, you can work on all 7 and even work on all 7 in little bits. And then maybe we add a medium bit. Then we might add a heavier bit. Then all of a sudden you got all 7 of these like an oiled machine. Instead of getting up every morning, go to work, come home, get up every morning, go to work, come home, get up every morning, go to work, come home, get up every morning, come home, watch TV, sleep, do something fun on the weekend. We're going to get up every morning, do some things that are going to serve us, and then move on to something else. And so I'm excited about doing this today. I'm excited about talking about it. I hope you get each and every single one of these down. You take out a piece of paper, you write these down, or you listen to this over and over. So number 1, the first thing that we're going to really talk about of you doing is when you wake up, what's the first thing you do when you're in bed? Now, a lot of us wake up to an alarm clock. Like we go to bed so late. We have so much on our mind. We're stressing about so much that when we wake up, we actually need an alarm clock to wake up. I submit to you, if you don't go to bed stressed at night and you go to bed early enough to get enough sleep for your body to be able to do it, you don't need an alarm clock to wake you up. The things and your dreams and your goals and the things that you're going to accomplish that next day will wake you up. But what if you do? What I want you to do is the first thing to do is put that phone in a place that is far away from you where you can't grab it as the first thing. And so if that means you charge it on a dresser to the side, I know, some people, I got to have an emergency. What if an emergency? What if somebody calls me in the middle of the night? Well, then put it far enough away where you'll hear it ring. And then you put it on do not disturb. This is at least on the Apple phones. I know that if you do not disturb, if somebody calls you twice, it will actually ring. The first time it won't disturb you if it's just some random caller. I literally have people, I think they think that I'm on the East Coast or think that I'm in London or something, and I get some of those spam calls at 2 or 3 in the morning. So do not disturb. I tell my family, call me twice, then you know it will ring. So put the phone somewhere else where you can't be the first thing you do. You don't want to put into your mind the things that will put your brain into action on solving problems the first thing in mind. The first thing you want to do is you want to work on meditation. You want to work on prayer. You want to work on. So and here's the difference. If you don't know the difference between meditation and prayer, prayer is when you talk to God and ask him for stuff. Meditation is where you listen to what God has to say in your life and what he can add to it. And so I would say, even if it's a card, a 3x5 card, you put it together, you write on it, this is my prayer for this morning. Like I get up, the first thing I say is, dear Lord, give me the wisdom to do the things you put me on this earth to do. Give me the wisdom to do the things you put me on this earth in a way that pleases you and serves others. And then I listen. And this may only take 2 minutes. It may take 5 minutes. It may take, hopefully it's no more than 10 minutes. But I'm just laying there. And I now ask God to put into motion for my day. Now, I would love for you to expand your prayers, and you get but if you can get in this habit, and they say it takes 21 days to create a habit, but if we're just gonna work on it for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, that you're doing it. So you're gonna get on, you're gonna say those words or whatever the prayer is that you have, and then you're gonna listen. The meditation is, I would say, just take 10 deep breaths, where your belly comes out. I talked about this in an early one, and you're not, because when we teach PE to kids sometimes, and I take a big deep breath, they go in and then their belly comes in, and so they're actually pulling the air out. When you're taking a breath, they're supposed to put the air in. Oxygen can then go to your brain. They can do stuff. This is before, I'm telling you, this is before you ever look at an email, ever look at a text, ever watch the news or turn on the news, ever. If you wake up, we used to have these alarm clocks where it would wake up and it would turn on the radio. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. It would turn on the radio to tell you about the day, right? People tell me, well, what I'm not going to know the weather. You know the weather. You know where you live. You know the climate. What's the worst thing? And what are you going to do? I'm not saying you don't look at the weather before you go out. But if you look at it the day before, you know where it's going to be. You don't need, it's amazing how much time they spend doing weather on the news. And if you are turning on the news in the morning after you pick up your phone, stop it. You can't hardly control what's going on in your world, and you're not getting the results you want. How are you going to control something that's going on in somebody else's world on the other side of the planet? So first thing you're going to do in your routine and in your habits, that you're stopping what you're doing. You're stopping all those news, pick up the phone, read whatever emails. That's done. You're going to start with prayer and meditation. All right, you guys got that one down? All right, number 2, listen to, I want you to start figuring out a way to listening, and this can be throughout the day, to those who have gone before you. There are some really good podcasts out there. There are really good places where you can go to listen to somebody who's maybe it's in the field that you want to go. Maybe it's just on listening to, if you want to be a CEO someday, maybe it's listening to CEOs that talk. Maybe it's listening to a sermon. For a while, I did a sermon every single day for over a year, right? So I could hear what God was saying to me, and then listen to what I could possibly do. So I'm not going to pick those videos for you. I can give you some suggestions. I can give you some places that you can go. But I want you to begin to listen to at least 30 minutes a day. This is before you watch any other news, before you listen to anybody else telling you about things that are going on in the world. So if your first thing, unless you are running for office, I don't want you to listen to any political news. None. No political news. That may come later in the day, but for your day and your routine that you're setting, what we need to do is listen to some really good inspiration. Now, I have I'll talk about exercise as one of these, but during my walk every single morning. So, when I'm getting up, I start out with my, breathing, and I start out with my prayer, and I start with my meditation. That's helping me to awake myself. Then I get up and I put my shoes and my socks and my, in this case, it's right now in this time it's summer. So I get to walk, 3 miles. And I pull out my phone and I put the video that I'm going to watch for the day. And hopefully it's a half hour to an hour. And I listen to somebody, usually different every single day, that's going to put the things into my mind that will set into motion the places that I want to go. All right. So Number one was prayer meditation. Number two was listening to something that's bigger than yourself so that you can grow. Number three, this is a little bit harder for some folks because I'm asking you to read. Now, you can say, well, I can do it on Audible, which you can if that's what you want to listen to. But I would encourage you to read something that is part of a book on something that you want to grow at. Now, this doesn't have to be in the morning. It's just a routine. It's in your day that you're going to read something. My dad used to read the paper every day, and he still wants to. And the papers don't come out anymore. And he tries to find it on his iPad, and he tries to listen, and it's like it. But I'm thinking about, what is it you're reading, Dad? Oh, well, I got to know what's going on in the world. Okay. I'm not saying that you don't, but in this routine, when we're trying to become the person that we need to be, in order to do the things that we need to do, in order to get where we want to get, I think you need to be very conscious of the book. And so you can look at, I have a list on my Amazon of great books. I'm thinking, like, as we're doing this, as I'm talking about 7 habits, the 7 habits of highly effective people. That's in a work by Stephen Covey. That's in a work environment. But what a good book to read. Hey, but how about the daily word or a daily devotional that you read? That's a simple, easy one. You can get the daily word. They'll send it to you. I think they'll still send it to you, or you can get it on your phone and you actually read. There's just something about the time that it takes to read a word on a page and then to get into your mind and to become part of who you are. So it could be the prayer of Jabez. It could be, you think of, like I said, I have a list on my Amazon list that you can go to and look at books that you can get that will help you through this process. But it might only be a page a day. How about the Bible? Ooh, man, how about starting a Bible reading for a year and you read 3 chapters a day? And then in a year, you've gotten through the entire Bible, 3 chapters a day. How about you just start with 1 chapter since you haven't been reading any of them? All right, so a whole bunch of ideas on reading. You got to read, right? Just the importance of reading that you know how to do. All right, so Number 4, this is an important one because it starts your mind in your reticular activator system. When we talk about the reticular activator system, that's that system that allows you, like when you see a blue car or you buy a blue car, everybody has a blue car. It's that system that now allows you to see things you weren't seeing before because it came into your brain. And so what I want you to do is I want you to start out with some affirmations. And I have a list of 5 affirmations to live by. I want you to start with some ones that are Thanksgiving. Maybe if it's even only 10, things that you can set into motion. I think about, some people who say, well, they, the power of attraction and they follow the universe. And in my mind, I follow the person who created the universe, right? And so my affirmations, but it's still attracting to me the things that I want to go on in my head. And I have a daily success series that I would love for you to, if you want to check it out, you can, where it's a daily, we go through Thanksgiving, we go through some affirmations, we go through some prayers, a great routine to get into if you're not used to being able to do one. But you don't need mine to be able to go and do this. You just need to be able to make sure that you're starting out with some affirmations, some things that you say, that you put them on the mirror. I am God's greatest gift. You can say, I'm a wonderful, beautifully and wonderfully made. Today I'm going to find success in my life. Whatever those affirmations, I would say somewhere between 10 to 20 today. I would download for free. I have 500 affirmations that you can start with. You can do in 500, you can start with, that's several years if you're doing, maybe 10 the same week. And so along the things, I also say the things that you're thankful for. Now you can do this on your walk. You can do this in your drive. You can just sit down at the steering wheel. If you're a person who warms up their car, God, I'm just thankful that I woke up this morning. I'm thankful that I have the ability with two eyes and two ears and one mouth to be able to listen and see what you would have me do. I'm thankful that I'm able to put on my pants one leg at a time. I'm thankful for the fact that I can walk. I'm thankful for the house that I get to live in. I'm thankful for the roof over my head. I have also a list of things you can be thankful for. But when you start out with an attitude of gratitude, everything changes. So you start out with that attitude of gratitude every single day with some Thanksgiving, some type of affirmation. And like I said, as we're doing these, I want you to get good at one at a time. Let's start creating a habit with number one, right? Let's then go to number two, the number three, right? So number one, again, was prayer and meditation. Let's get really good at prayer and meditation this week, right? Then we're going to start listening to somebody. Now you can add these. You can do prayer, meditation, and listen to somebody, or do three or the four. But we want to make sure that we're getting there. And then we're going to read, right? We're going to make sure we're reading a day. Then we're going to do our affirmations with Thanksgiving and talk about what we're doing. The fifth thing we're going to do is we're going to exercise. Now, for a lot of folks who haven't been exercising or haven't been doing something to move your body, it might be really tough to do it. I started out, before I even started doing my walking and moving. Obviously, I was an athlete at one time, and I was really good at exercising, right? That was my job. That was my life. But then I got older, right? And things take over, and routines came where I would eat and not exercise. I wouldn't move my body. There are some incredible meditation yoga things that you can do. I had some back issues. And so, I started out just doing sciatica, 20-minute, back pain, yoga, laying on the floor, being able to lift up my leg. But once I started that routine and I did it every single day, and it was only 20 minutes. And yes, I went to Target and I bought a mat and I laid on the mat. And my favorite routine was the one that just had me laying there for 10 minutes before I did anything, right? Then it had me lift my legs and do different things. And so if your exercise starts out with yoga before you can start moving your body, do that. Low impact things like swimming. I have a gym. I'm fortunate enough. I have a gym membership that when I was a trainer that I got at, what was it called? Family Fitness now. Now it's 24-hour fitness. So I have a gym membership for like $6 a month. So I'm not saying, 54 some dollars a year or something like that is what I get. And so I'll never give that up because it's lifetime at all costs. But you don't need to go to the gym. You can walk outside. You can do things in your home. You can, it's harder to exercise in your home because there's so many distractions. But just get out and start the movement. Start your blood flowing. Oxygen to the brain means a more intelligent life. I'm sorry, it's just how it goes. Now, on the other side of that, I'm not even talking about this habit of eating yet. That's not even in my 7 and what you put into your body. That's important. I just want you to move your body right now. We will get into that when we start talking about exercise and then what is the nutrition that needs to go into your body. Okay, so again, we started at 1, which was our prayer and our meditation. Our prayer and our meditation was the very first one that we started with today. And again, we're talking about 7 habits to break the routine and actually win. Then we went into number 2, which was listen to inspiration, listen to things on tape. Then we went to read. So you're reading at least a page, something every single day. Then we're going into 4, which is our affirmations and Thanksgiving. Then we went into 5, which is exercise, move your body. Number 6 is cultivating relationships. If you can become great at relationship, everything hinges and works on relationship. And so what is your daily goal in relationship? Whether it's a relationship with your kids, whether it's a relationship with your spouse, whether it's a relationship with your coworkers, whether it's a relationship with strangers, whether it's a relationship with leads and clients. Those are all relationships every single day. And so I'm just submitting as we get started that you just pick one person a day. Now I have like 5,000 contacts on my phone. I can scroll through, pick one, make a phone call. But I want to be intentional about it because, for me, I want to make sure that every single day that I do something that makes somebody's day. because I'm into serving others, right? And it could start with a smile. You could say, for this week, all I'm going to do is smile to one person every single day that I walk by. My friend, that is cultivating relationship. That is changing a routine that will change your destiny, that will change your life. I can't wait till we get to this day and I can start going over all the wonderful things. But I want you to have these other routines in place where you're dealing with your mind and what goes into your mind, and having that gate that stops bad things from going in, and then being able to read and being able to listen. And so you're working on you, you're working on you, you're working on you every single day. And then you move into, now we're talking about, now how are you going to utilize the skills that God has given you to help others have a better day. Yep, I just smiled at you and made that you couldn't have watched that. Now, if you're listening to this, you couldn't see me smile, but if you're watching me talk right now and you saw me just smile and look at your eyes, I promise you could not smile back, even though I'm not on the other side of the screen. Because no, you can't do that. So if that's what you do to start cultivating your relationships, call somebody. Just thank them. Not only are you thankful for the things that your life is doing, hey, thank you for getting up this morning and being part of my life. I am a better person today because you're in it. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Bye. How long did that take? 10 seconds? 15 seconds, 20 seconds to be able to take somebody, edify somebody, move somebody forward. So that's routine number 6. Now we're talking again about these 7 things that we're going to change your life, these 7 habits, these 7 routines that will help you to actually win. Getting rid of the old, moving in some of these things that are now helping you to become the person that you need to be so that you can be that person. So number 1, again, we'll start your day with prayer and meditation. And we got rid of that phone, right? Second thing we're doing is we're listening to something that's inspirational. Third thing that we're doing is we're reading. No matter what it is, you're reading something every single day. Number 4, we're doing affirmations. We're doing some Thanksgiving. We're speaking out loud to things as they may so that they can become the things that they want them to be. Number 5, things we're going to do is we're going to move our body. We're going to do some kind of intentional movement of our body. So you can't say I exercise because I got out of bed and walked to the toilet, then I walked to the kitchen, got some food, then I walked to my car. That's not exercising, my friend. I'm talking about 10 to 15 minutes of actually doing something. And then we're going to start, number 6 was cultivating relationships and making sure that those relationships are exactly where we're going to go. And then the 7th thing that we're going to do in our day, the 7th thing that we're going to do in our day is we're going to make at least one promise to ourselves, and we're going to keep it. We're going to make one promise to ourselves every single day, and we're going to keep it. We are going to be people that keep the promises that we say to ourselves. And this is going, as we progress and we move on, it's going to be more than one promise, but we're going to get so good at keeping the promises to ourselves. Say the promises, today I am not going to eat till noon because I'm doing intermittent fasting or something. This is, just one promise you can make to yourself. Then I want you to make sure you keep that promise to yourself, no matter how hard, how much your body is craving, how much. I want you to become a person that keeps the promise to themselves, right? Because it builds confidence and trust. And you can begin to trust yourself. We're going to talk about trust a lot in here. We're going to talk about my 5 pillars of, faith, identity, finance, trust, and health. And so we're going to talk about all those things as we do these. But I want you in this habit making form that you are going to keep a promise that you keep to yourself every single day. All right, so let's go over these one more time. So number 1, you're going to prayer and meditation, right? Prayer and meditation. That's the first thing we're going to do. You're going to work on that. Then we're going to move on to listening to something inspirational every single day. Then we're going to read. Then we're going to do some affirmations. And we're going to do some Thanksgiving. And then we're going to exercise. We're going to move our body for 10, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes 30, whatever it is. It takes me an hour to walk 3 miles. And so obviously I am not going very fast. But I'm 59 years old and I need my body to work, and I need my body to work till I'm 90, till I'm 95, till I'm 100. So I need to make sure that I'm doing that. You're going to cultivate a relationship with somebody today. One person today. And then you're going to keep one promise to yourself that you kept. Now, if you do these things and you switch this routine, I'm telling you, I kid you not, that these 7 habits that will help your routine, that will help you to actually win. You say win. What contest am I in? I'm saying win in life, win in the things that you want to do, help you to become the person that you want to be so that you can be that person who can do the thing that you really want to do. The reason that you're not doing it is because many of these habits are not the habits that you've created. Many of these routines are not the routines that you've had. I promise you, let's do this. Let's work it together. You've gone to school. You know exactly what to do. You're going to get up every single day anyways, right? You're going to get up and you're going to go to work. You're going to come home. You're going to do the things that you do every single day anyways. Why not do something that's going to perpetuate you being able to have the things that you want to have because you become the person that you want to become? All right, so you guys have an awesome, wonderful, just incredible day. Thank you for being part of another edition of Going to School with Dr. B. Next week, we are going to just concentrate on that prayer and that meditation and what that looks like and how to do it, and give you some ideas and some ways to make sure you can do these things. Because it's one thing for me, if we keep talking about going from knowing to doing, it's one thing for me to tell you how to do it, and now you know to do it. It's another thing of doing it. And we're going to do this together. We're going to practice together. So you have an amazing, awesome, just incredible day. We'll talk to you guys next week.